Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to another edition of the Brooklyn Baby Podcast with me, your host, Charlene Sapp. Well, happy pre-early Thanksgiving holiday. So I know everyone's like, some people may have taken off to go out of town. Some people are staying in town the way I typically do. And my family always had a tradition of just staying local. We're actually going to my son's house. Well, I'm bringing the pre-cooked, pre-purchased meal from a place we have here in Raleigh, North Carolina, called Metro Diner. I pre-ordered the meal. I'm picking it up tomorrow, and I am going to take it over to my son's house. My dad's going to join us. I don't know if my son's having any guests of his own. Who knows? Was enough to feed an army. Anyway, so what are your plans? What are y'all doing? Anyone going out of town, staying in town? I always stay local, and the plan is for this holiday, Thanksgiving. I said, let's go to my son's house. His house is beautiful, new. Let's go there. He's been there for 2 years, and I said for Christmas I'll have him come to me and whoever else he wants to bring, or so that's what we're gonna do this year. So that's the plan. So, but we're all in the same area. Although we're all in Raleigh, I'm like in the northernest tier of Raleigh, and he's in like the southernmost tier of Raleigh. So 40 minutes away, but still in the same city. Anyway, today's topic is something that a lot of people are now talking about. I was actually inspired to talk about this topic, silver divorces. Yes, I was looking on my feed on Instagram, no, it's rather Facebook, and Oprah Winfrey, who I really admire since I was a young child, was talking about how she was going to be addressing the topic in one of her upcoming podcasts. I said, oh, she gave me some food for thought. Hello, my lovelies. I'm having some technical issues today. Anywho, welcome to another edition of the Brooklyn Baby Podcast with me, your host, Charlene Sapp. Thank you all so much for being here. You could have been anywhere and you chose to be with me. So this is a pre-Thanksgiving episode. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? I know this year I'm pre-ordering, well, every year, even, for years, we always pre-ordered. We got out of the habit of making the dinner and just had the dinner made for us. So I went to one of my favorite restaurants, pre-ordered the dinner, already fully cooked with the sides. They even threw in the dessert, the rolls, everything. I'm picking it up tomorrow afternoon. It stays fresh up to 72 hours. And all I got to do is pop it in the oven. So I'm taking this wonderful meal, taking it over to my son's house. My dad's going to be joining us. I don't know if my son's going to have any guests of his own, but my meal could feed an army. And we're going to my son's new house, which he's been there for 2 years, but it's a new house. So let's break it in for Thanksgiving for the first time, because normally he comes to my house. So we're all in the same area, but he's in the same county, in the same area, but I'm on the northernmost end. He's like in the southernmost end, still the same city, but 40 minutes apart. It's like another world, but we're in the same vicinity, but 40 minutes apart. Anyway, and I decided for Christmas to go to another local favorite restaurant on the day of and get a fresh, hot dinner. So I'm going to take everyone's order, what I want, my dad, my son, any of my son's guests. If I have a guest, take everyone's order from the menu of the restaurant near my home and just take everyone's order and go and purchase it. And we're going to eat takeout, a good restaurant takeout on Christmas Day. I don't have to worry about mess, cleanup, no fuss. Just like the meal we're taking to my son's house on Thanksgiving, I just pop it in his oven, warm it up, put it on the table. Yeah. I got that idea to do the to-go Thanksgiving pre-ordered meals for my mom. Yeah, so she, so that's the new trend. And that's been a trend for a while. So, cause I know as a family, we've been doing these pre-ordered dinners, and you pick it up the day or two or three before Thanksgiving. And you cook it or warm it up at your house, and that's been our tradition for about what, 7, 8 years. Yeah, we have not cooked a Thanksgiving dinner in our family, our immediate family, in so long. So, yes, that is the plan. That is the plan. That is the plan. And any family members in town will just come to my son's house. And then even during the holiday, even the warm up, I know people might be coming to visit me today and tomorrow, all week. It's going to be football. It's a lot going on. And even though we left New York City 28 years ago as a family and set up our own homes and domains and everything, residences. Um, a lot of family and some family friends have moved down to the area too. So we're never bored. And a lot of people always coming through on 85 or 40 or 95, 440, 540, and they visit. So it's always busy, 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 busy. And another cousin of mine who she has a brownstone in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy, but she also purchased a home in the same county, but in Garner. So she has two residences, one still in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy, do or die, and she has one in Garner. She comes down a lot too. So when people wonder why I'm always busy, plus I like to split my time going back home to New York, staying in Raleigh. I like that duality, and hopefully I can get another residence back in New York, so I don't have to stay with people or rent hotels. Just I just want to have my own place. So when I go, because I've been going more frequently in the past 3 years than I think ever, and it's only become exacerbated now that I'm retired. So, yes, I've been going to New York often, flying to New York often. So people can't catch me. It's like catch me if you can, like the gingerbread man. Not complaining. This is the life I wanted. I'm trying to maintain two new businesses and write books. It's a lot, but it's a lot of blessings, and it's what I've asked for. This is the life I wanted. I wanted this life. Yep. So I thank God for that. Anyway, today's topic is a topic that I was inspired from Oprah. Yeah, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw that the great Oprah Winfrey, she said she was going to cover a topic called gray divorces. I said, a gray divorce. I said, I think I could put my thinking cap on and figure out what that is. And it's basically kind of like what it sounds like when you're a person of age, and I guess many people, if not most, have the gray hair. I don't mean to be funny, but thank God I do not have any grays. Well, I did have a few coming through, and I plucked them, and it seemed like they have not come back. Good. And then when I was leaving that school, I noticed some grays were trying to come through, and I plucked them, and I guess I plucked them, and they just never came back. Anyway, that's off topic. Gray marriages. So gray marriages are this: people over the age of 50 getting divorces. Now, for those of you who know me, know my stance about marriage. And I made it very clear in past podcasts. And if you roll with me long enough, you know how I roll. I'm just so grateful my parents never made me feel compelled, or my sister never made us feel compelled. You got to be a wife. You got to get married. Because you know what? Most people who I know who are married wish they were single. And us single people are like, we're trying to tell you, we're not trapped. We run footloose and fancy free. We can do whatever we want. Just like I mentioned, if I want to be in New York one week, stay in Raleigh another week, travel, whatever I want to do, I'm not answering to anyone. I'm not saying I don't want to get married, but I'm just very particular. And like I've mentioned in past podcasts, my parents gave me the wonderful example of what a marriage should be, how it should look, how it should come. I'm not saying everything was perfect, but it was perfect for us. And it was a great example. It was very idyllic to see a man who's a provider in my dad, who took his shit of responsibility seriously, of providing food, gave my mother the option to be a stay-at-home wife or to work. She chose to work. She was career driven. I don't know about y'all, but I probably would have taken the option of being a housewife. But like I said, they don't make them like my mother anymore. But she chose because she wanted to go with her career. She was working in a hospital, then she rose up the ranks and then started working for the New York City Department of Health at the location right across the way near the Manhattan Bridge by Junior's, the famous Junior's restaurant with the famous cheesecake. And she just decided she wanted to have a career. And she was working for the New York City Department of Health for 30 years. Yep. Or was it 35? I think it was 30. It was at least 30. And my dad was at the hospital where I was born for 35. Anyway, do people even stay at jobs that long anymore? Good night. I think I saw something saying that my generation, I'm 54, generation X, we wonder why are there jobs? I saw some meme on Facebook, and then the same meme mentioned how like generation um, millennials, I guess their generation, the millennials, they wonder, well, they go through so many jobs. I think that's what the meme said. And Generation X, my generation, we're like, why are there even jobs? Anyway, back in the day, people stayed at jobs forever. It seemed like it was a whole different culture where people, not saying there were never problems, but people felt the need to have to stay in a career, stay at a job without bouncing around like people are doing in these newer generations. The whole culture, people used to look out for each other, had each other's backs, felt some level of being comfortable sharing and, just having potlucks where you felt safe. Because I never had a job where I ate a potluck. Mm-mm. I'm the black woman to me, but like, who made the food? I don't eat everyone's food because people got these cats and dogs jumping all over the table, on the stove. People don't wash their hands. If I work with you and I see you don't wash your hands, why am I going to eat your potluck meal? Now that's the black woman in me. We just don't eat anyone's food. We just don't, unless we know who made it. And even then, there's some reservations. But anyway, back to the topic. So yes, so there's this big trend now of people 50 and over getting divorced. And here's the part where people like me who are seeing things my way, the older I get, I'm embracing even more and more about being single. When I hear people's horror stories about marriages and relationships. Now, let me be clear. Yes, I date. Yes, I go out, but people who get to penetrate, that maybe that's not the good word. Well, let me get your mind out the gutter. People who want to penetrate my soul, and I guess other things too. I'm being funny. Ha ha ha. There's so many barriers they have to overcome because we're not just giving up the cookie or the nookie. We're not. I'm not. You have to be a special person that maybe tapped into my soul for me to do that. And I'm just want to say, people just don't feel the rush to get married. Don't feel the pressure just to say, oh, I got a husband, I got a wife. Because I'm hearing all these horror stories. My generation, older generations, younger generations of people, number one, buyer's regret, wishing they were single. Number two, sometimes getting a little hater rate. If they hear, some of us are going out on dates, living footloose, fancy free. I've sensed some resentment from some of the married people. Number three, people are sometimes put in danger. Sometimes people are just staying around for the kids or for the kids to get out the house. Then they're gonna lower the boom and divorce their spouse. There are cases of people slipping into people's DMs. That's happened to me. And I was talking to my son about this. I said a lot of the people who are low key giving me messages who I know within the DMs are married people. They might have been friends from the past, people I'd known when I was younger, whatever the case may be, and they're the ones who are married, but sending me messages or text messages that are very scandalous, inappropriate. And I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you married? Why are you acting and pursuing me like you're married? And some of them have the audacity to give me a story. Oh, well, no, we're going through problems, or I can go on and on with the stories I've heard about people justifying coming into my DM or sending me a text. And when I call them out about being married, there's a story. Bottom line, everything you see on the internet, everything that you're seeing on social media, people are perpetrating the front, y'all. They're acting like they're on social media happy, but I know, and other people can attest to the fact, it's all smoke and mirrors and bullshit. They're portraying one thing with these kids on holidays, the pajamas, or taking these family trips, or whatever they're portraying. And people like me and others are like, wait a minute, this person, male and females, are telling me these stories that are similar to my story, but low key trying to get with us behind closed doors. Or we're hearing about people married X amount of years, and then all of a sudden after 25, 26, 20, 30, 40, 20, 18, 15 years, they're getting a divorce. Or, like I said, they're low key chasing the women are chasing men, the men are chasing women, or maybe the women chasing women, the men chasing men. Who knows? But my point is, people are stepping outside their marriages. And I'm not talking about young people. I'm talking about people my age bracket and older, give or take a couple of years, 40, 45 on up, 50 on up. And so this whole trend about these silver divorces are not really surprising when you think about how people are moving. And that's sad. I would hate to be in a situation where I'm married to someone on paper, but I'm miserable. They do nothing for me. And I do nothing for them. That's not a happy place to be. But just to say I'm married, I got a ring, a band. Every house is not a home. That Luther song was epic and very telling. A house sometimes is not a home. Don't let these people fool y'all into thinking. And I'm not anti-marriage. If I've got with the right person, or any of these people, these men that have crossed my path, uh, light my fire and make me want to marry, and I make them want to marry me, and the chemistry is there and everything's right, of course I would get married. But I'm not getting married to get divorced and to be a gray divorce. Where they do that at? So my point, people, take your time. Do not be fooled by what you see on the internet. Do not be fooled by what people say, because actions do speak louder than words. Don't ever feel pressure to be in a relationship, no matter if you're young, old, middle aged, like I am, whatever. Don't make people make you feel that you are less than because you're not married. And don't let people question, because one thing I cannot stand, and if anyone hears me who knows me, do not do this to me or other people. Do not question, are you in a relationship? Why are you not in a relationship? You know, and I tell people I'm gooder than good. I sleep very well at night. I'm self-sufficient. My bills are paid. Stop. Don't do that to people. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because trust me, if I wanted to be married, I could have been, and it would have been a disaster. It would have been a disaster. It would have been a disaster. Remember, I'm the person that gave back the engagement ring, for those of you who listened to my earlier podcast. So do not feel pressured. Even you young people who I might have former students listening to my podcast, some of y'all do. Take it from Miss Sab. Do not feel compelled to be in a relationship just to be in a relationship. Don't make anyone make you feel pressure to be in a relationship or to get married. You take your time. Don't feel rushed, because you don't want to be a divorced person or be older like the people I'm talking about and have a gray divorce. But yeah, gray divorces are because I've been hearing so much on social media, in real life, well, in personal life with people I know, and all over the place. People been together for so many decades and years, and they're of a certain age. I'm like, why are they getting a divorce? I'm like, what is going on? What? Huh? What? Like my mother had a family friend, and they were partying in their 60s. I was like, what? No, my bad. It was in their 70s. I'm like, why y'all made it that far? Why y'all not still staying together? Woo, child. And both of them, I believe, is both their second marriages. Because they got married later in life, like I think in their maybe 50s, or they may have been maybe yeah, maybe mid to late 50s. Oi, right? Or maybe I think, you know what? I think they got married maybe in their early 60s. Or one was late 50s, the other was a little older in the early to mid 60s, but they both split like after like 10, 15 years, and they were really even more up in age. Whew, Jesus. So again, just that's my little piece. Look up that topic, silver divorces. Don't let it be you. Don't feel rushed to get married or be in a relationship. And I think I said what I had to say. All right, well that's all for now. And when we meet next time next week, we're gonna get into lavender marriages. And if you don't know what a lavender marriage is, look it up. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna spoiler alert. It's basically another phenomenon, but it's really, if you think about it, been going on for a while in society. But they gave it a title now. It's when I was looking on the internet finding out about it. I said, "What's a lavender marriage?" Basically, it's when women are a man's beard. When we are used by men to be a cover up, and the man is low key gay, but they're keeping up a front, and they call it a lavender marriage. And I've been hearing about that. I learned about it through social media. I said, "Oh, so gay man marries woman to keep up the farce that he is a straight family man, but he's just keeping up that farce and facade to act like he's straight when he's low key sleeping with men and he's gay." Lavender marriages. Look it up. That'll be our topic next week. People, I want y'all to have a wonderful, blessed Thanksgiving. Um, Whether you celebrate the holiday or not, enjoy your time off. Those of you who are working, be safe. Enjoy the time with your family. I know I'm going to enjoy time with my people. Turn up, hey, eat, drink. Yeah, because my son has a whole bar at his house. Ooh, I'm going to invade his bar, baby. He got that good top shelf stuff. Anywho, so yes, and I will meet back with you all next week. Mwah. Thank you so much for being here with me, and stay safe and have a happy, happy day. Bye.